Hey all, Doug with D&E in the Garage here. I am coming to you today with another quick knife review, as is kind of becoming my weekly tradition. I'm not really planning it that way. I just keep finding more and more knives that I want to review for you guys, all right? Because I have a lot of opinions, and because I have a camera and access to a YouTube account, you all get to listen to my opinions. So without further ado, the knife we are detailing today is another multi-tool like the one last week. It is a miniature multi-tool. If you want to check out our Gerber dime review from last week, hit that card up in the corner right there. But this week we are doing the Gerber curve. That's right. I claimed last week that the dime was the smallest name brand multi-tool. I suppose the caveat there would have to be, or the asterisk there would have to be the smallest multi-tool with a pliers, because they're calling it a multi-tool. I think it's more of a pen knife. They are calling this a multi-tool. If you look on Amazon, they are calling the Gerber curve, this guy right here, a multi-tool. It reminds me a whole lot more of the Swiss Army knives that I had as a kid. You know, the real small ones, pocket-sized, keychain-sized, Swiss Army knife. So I'm going to call it a pen knife more than a multi-tool. But either way, I think they're claiming 7 tools in this thing. I have got 5 of them here. As always, knife companies love to call the either the belt loop or the clip or whatever, the keychain ring, the lanyard ring, a clip. In this case, it's a carabiner, is what they're calling this this wire locking device for putting it on your keys. What I would suggest is this: if you intend to carry this knife on your keys, I'm telling you right now, this is flimsy. It works on this offset pivot point to create tension to keep it closed. Don't trust that. All right, this is going to get ripped right out at the first chance, the first time it's caught on something. What you have here is a bar up in the top. Go get yourself a split ring, go to the craft section at Walmart, put it around there if you really intend to carry this on your keys. Now, I don't know, I do not. This actually stays on my nightside table. I can't tell you how often I'm sitting in bed, and I don't even know what. Be messing with something, I just need a little knife. So the first tool is the carabiner. All right, I'm not buying that. As you all know, I don't like when you count the carrying point as a tool, but I suggest don't even try to use this carabiner. Get yourself a normal key ring, put it through this bar here. Number 2, bottle opener. Like the dime, it's a bottle opener that is always exposed. You don't have to flip it out of the knife or anything. You even got a picture of a bottle there, so it's truly idiot proof. Yeah, it looks like it'd be a pretty good bottle opener. I don't have any bottles in the house to try to open it, but I'm gonna say that would be just perfect to get on a bottle and pop the top off. Sure, why not? It's kind of hard to screw up a bottle opener. And I submit, if you're a real man, you never need a bottle opener. Whatever's in your hand is a bottle opener. That's another video sometime. Let's move on to the knife. It's an interesting little blade, very small. I think they're claiming 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches. Sure, it's a good looking blade. You know, for a pen knife, I like the shape of it. I've found as I'm using it that it's really good for doing actual work, considering how small it is, the shape of this blade. What I don't like is it's a little difficult to sharpen, but what do you expect? I think these things go for $10 on Amazon. What were you hoping for? An interesting thing is all the tools in this mechanism lock. This right here is a little sliding lock, so this knife is locked until you slide it back. It's a little awkward to maneuver, but it's a nice feature. It's there anyway. Let's see. Number 2, they're claiming a medium and a small flathead. It's going to be these two. You're not going to be able to get much leverage on them, but sure, they are there. Medium, small flathead. Why not? They kept it nice and simple with those, nothing else. Now here is, and this design I find really interesting, it's like a flat Phillips head. Can you see that? Really very interesting. Not going to be applicable for everything, but what they did was they just gave the littlest bit of a cutout. Yeah, you see what they did? It's kind of interesting. I mean, again, like I said before, or like I've said in other videos, you don't want to build a house with it, but if you're trying to build a house with a Gerber curve, I don't know, probably can't hang out. Then they do what I dislike, but they changed it a little. They're always putting files on these knives, and all they do is call them files, which implies that I'm going to be, you know, rasping a piece of wood with them, or I'm going to be able to change the profile of actual metal. What they did on this one, and this one little word changes it all, in the description they call it a nail file. Now, not something I would ever need. I consider it a useless tool, and if anything, they've made this piece of metal weaker. But at least they specify. I suppose that this could be an applicable nail file. I don't file my nails, so I have no idea. Maybe at some point I'll get my wife down here and she can let me know if this is a good nail file. Certainly not a normal file. Don't just call it a file. You know, they've done that in all the knives I've reviewed, and every time it's something like this. It's, you know, an inch long, and it's in an awkward spot on the knife where I know that if I need a file, this is not going to do anything for me, you know, a file or a rasp, but they called it a nail file. I actually really like this tool. I had no intentions of reviewing it. I've had it for over a year now. It was a Christmas gift from a buddy of mine at least one Christmas ago. And it's been on my nightstand ever since. I've never carried it daily, but I use it all the time. Like I said, this little blade is good for doing work. I've used these tools a handful of times. Mostly I use the blade, which, you know, honestly, if you're going out to get a curve, get it for the blade. Get it for the convenience. It's very light. It's sturdy. It is interesting that it locks. I don't know that that's necessary, but it's a fun feature. I wouldn't mind carrying this on my keyring. I talked last time about carrying the dime daily. Couldn't do it. Couldn't be done. It's not big enough to be an EDC knife, and it's too big to be carried on a keyring. This, on the other hand, I think I could get behind carrying on my keyring. So honestly, I give the Curve 10 out of 10 for what it is. It's a pen knife. Don't call it a multi-tool. It's a pen knife, and I think it's a really good pen knife. I would absolutely suggest it. As always, I'll put a link down below where you can find it, though, you know, it's not particularly hard to find Gerber knives somewhere on the internet. That's about all, guys. It's going to be a real short one today, all right? So if you liked this video, if you found it entertaining, if you found it even educational, by all means, hit that like button for us, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment. You guys love making fun of me for the way I review these knives, but it's okay. I can take it. You don't put yourself out on the internet without being aware that somebody's going to take issue with something you said. So by all means, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment. Thanks for watching. See you next time.